Hey, what's up, everybody? DFS Rico coming at you with my picks and insight for this NBA 9-game slate on Saturday, December 26th. We got a 9-gamer. It's a pretty good slate. We have some studs on there, pretty good studs. We have some pretty good value, but the value seems like it's coming from the same games. So a lot of people will probably be playing a lot of the same value. Um, so it might be a good spot to differentiate yourself if you can find somewhere value somewhere else that you feel confident about. But before I get into it, if you could like, comment, subscribe, I really do appreciate it. Um, but let's get right to it. I'm going to start with the point guards and then just run through each position. And I will have timestamps in the bottom so you will be able to forward through each position. Because I know some people are more interested in just the positions. Then at the end of the video, I'll have my core four, my four favorite picks that I like. And then you guys can kind of go from there. But let's get to it. I mean, up top, we got James Harden at 10.9. Um, I like James Harden a lot. He's going to be playing against Portland. Portland last season was a fast-paced team. Um, I'm pretty sure they'll be the same way this season, but it should be a good game. It's the last game on the slate, so you're probably going to want to have value um, players from it, and that's where some of the value is coming from just because of all the COVID people on this game. They're going to be missing like 6 guys, so their rotation is going to be like an 8 or 9 man rotation. And so you assume a lot of the players from this game are going to be getting a ton of minutes. James Harden is obviously the main guy. He's going to have like 45 plus utilization with like now that they don't have Russell Westbrook, no Eric Gordon either, no John Wall, no Cousins. Like all those guys are missing. He's going to have massive usage rate. As long as he gets the minutes, the only worrying thing is that he doesn't get the minutes. But I mean, I assume he's going to get the minutes. He's still going to go out there and ball out. Um, I think he plays 35 plus minutes in a competitive game, and I think he will be very, very good in this game. Probably get a triple double. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a triple double. But I do like James Harden a lot. He's probably my favorite play on the slate as of right now. The other one I'm interested in is Russell Westbrook because if he's out, he's questionable, and it looks like they're playing a back-to-back, so they don't know who they're going to rest or which game they're going to rest Russell Westbrook in because they are going to be doing that with him. They're going to rest him one game on the back-to-backs. They don't know if it's going to be the first game or the second game. So obviously, like if he gets benched, then Bradley Beal will be the key guy to benefit off of him. And obviously, there would be even more value from the other guys in that game as well. But we don't know that yet, so just keep an eye out on that. You might like some Brad Beal instead of James Harden if Russell Westbrook is out, because we know how good Bradley Beal was last year without another main star on the team. Ben Simmons got a huge price bump. Not really interested. I'd rather just get up to James Harden. Lillard might be interesting in a fast-paced game against Houston. He didn't have the greatest game in the first game of the season, but we still know he can easily pop off for, 50, 60 plus games. So at that price tag, he'd pay that off really nicely. And I mean, I feel like he always goes at it against Houston. So we should see. We got De'Aaron Fox, 8.7. I'd rather just get up to Lillard and Harden somehow. None of these guys really interest me. SGA maybe, but he is pretty pricey at 8.3. But he is going to be the main guy on that team now. So he is pretty interesting as a GPP play. Scrolling down, you got McCollum, you got Russell. They didn't play that many minutes in that first game, so I don't know what Minnesota's doing, but a lot of the starters didn't play a ton of minutes, and there wasn't even a blowout. So I don't know. I just feel like, other than Russell and Towns, I think, but like Beasley, all these other guys didn't get that many minutes, so I would just probably stick on Russell and Towns if I was to play any of those guys. Scrolling down, Lowry, Chris Paul. Lowry had like a ton of minutes in that first game. 39 minutes. We always know he's going to play a ton of minutes when he's on the court. As long as he's healthy, he's going to play 38 plus minutes, it feels like, honestly. As long as the game is close, he's just a minute guy. And if you're looking for minutes, if you like can't make your mind up between this guy and this guy, just go to the minutes is usually what I like to do. But Lowry is good. He's solid. I do kind of like Brogdon out of all these guys right here. I like him the most, 7.4. He is going against Chicago. We just saw Chicago get destroyed by Atlanta, and Indiana is much better than Atlanta in my opinion. So 7.4, Malcolm Brogdon is not a bad play. I do like him. I do like him a fairly good amount. Van Vliet, 7.3. Well, I'd rather just get up to Lowry and Brogdon and Russell, honestly. Scrolling down, you got Sexton got priced up crazy. He did have a really massive game in that first game, 27 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds. He had a really good game, so I could see that, but I'd rather just pay up. Kobe White didn't have the greatest game. He could bounce back in this game. He's going to have all the opportunity in the world. He still played 30 minutes in a blowout when I was in the preseason, but he still played a good amount of minutes in a blowout. He's, like I said, he's going to have the opportunity to run this team, so as long as he's out there, as long as the game stays close, I don't see why he can't beat that 6.9. I mean, he plays a ton of minutes, so Kobe White is actually a really sneaky play. I think people will be off of him after the last game, and I think he got priced up still, so even more people will probably be off of him. Scrolling down, the next guy I like is DeJounte Murray. I was on him last time, and he had a really good game. He only played 30 minutes, 31 minutes. I would like it if he gets like 34, 35, but Greg Pop, for some reason, he doesn't play him that much. He plays like DeRozan, even Aldridge is a lot older, at least 34, 35 minutes, and Murray's over here with 31. I think he just likes Patty Mills a lot. He likes bringing him off the bench and getting him his run. So, but I do like Murray at 6.4, probably my favorite around that price tag. Garland got priced up. I think he was 4.1. Now he's 5.6, but he beat that. He had like 42 fantasy points in that last game. Started slow, but he came out in the second half really, really hot. I think he talks about that. He stepped up 60 points in the second half. But he was good. I still think he's a decent play at 5.6 if he's going to be getting the amount of usage that he had in that first game as well. Obviously, Ish Smith will get a bump if Westbrook is out. That's really all I like from this price range. But if you scroll down a little more, there is another guy I'm really interested in is George Hill at 3.4. He's point guard and shooting guard eligible. He's going to be really popular today. He's going to start right next to SGA. So at 3.4, that's just too cheap for him. I think he's going to get at least like 30 minutes. And at 3.4, he's going to get way more opportunity here than he was getting in Milwaukee. So I could see his numbers being a little better than these like 24, 22 points. And at 3.4 for value, that's a really, really good value. So I do like George Hill a really good amount as well. Then there was another guy. Where's he at? I think he's only shooting guard and small forward eligible, but we'll have him on the next page. So let's go over to shooting guard. James Harden, obviously 10.9. I like him better than all these guys. Obviously, I like Beal a lot if Westbrook is out, though. Zach LaVine, if you don't want to play Kobe White, you can go with him. He has massive upside as well. In a close game, at least, as long as they're close. Scrolling down, I mentioned some of these guys. Buddy Hield had a decent game in that first game. Nothing I'm too crazy about. I'd rather just pay up for some of these other guys or pay down for a guy like Kobe White instead. Staying away from Oladipo. He's not really one of my favorite plays on this team. There's other guys I like. I prefer over him at least. Beasley looked pretty good in that first game, but he only played 27 minutes. If he could get up to like 32 minutes, I would really like him. So I'll wait for that until I still start seeing him get a little more run. None of these guys really interest me. I'm more interested in the guys up top, I think. And then the value guys, obviously, like Aaron Holiday's not a bad play. Then you got guys like, where is he at? Obviously, George Hill, like I mentioned. And then the other guy that I mentioned was Sterling Brown, which should be starting right next to James Harden today. I could see him getting 30 minutes. And even though Harden gets a lot of the usage, a lot of these guys will get a lot of peripheral stats, assists, rebounds. He'll have a lot of opportunity to take some shots as well. There are going to be plenty of shots to go around. I mean, if he's getting 30-plus minutes at 3.2, you don't really need that many points from him to make your lineup fantastic, so I do like him a really good amount as well at shooting guard, but not really interested in too many guys. I like the guys that are point guard and shooting guard eligible for the most part. I mean, like Russell, White, Harden, Hill, maybe even Barrett. Barrett had a good game, and Philly seems to be lacking on defense. They struggled this last game. He played 34 minutes, good game, 26, 8, and 5. I like Barrett a pretty good amount at that price tag. I think he's obviously the best player on that team, so he's going to get the opportunity as well. Small forward, we got Ben Simmons at 9.7. GPP play for me. DeRozan looked really good in that first game. Almost had a triple-double if I remember correctly. Yeah, it was 28, 9, and 9. He played really good. I mean, took 0 threes, but he was solid. At 8K is a pretty good amount, is a pretty good price tag as well. We did see New Orleans beat Toronto. And I actually think San Antonio is a little better than New Orleans. At least I think so. Um, Especially when they get Derek White back, they'll be a little better. Hayward, Gordon Hayward looked really good in that first game for Charlotte. I do like him in that matchup as well against OKC if you want to run it back. Buddy Hield. I still like Tobias Harris. I liked him in that first slate. Didn't do too well. I still like him at 6.7. Obviously, RJ Barrett. TJ Warren looked really bad in that first game, but I could see him bouncing back here at 6.2. Malik Beasley, I mentioned him. Oji Anunoby didn't take many shots in that first game. He only took 10 shots. I thought he would get a couple more shots, but if he did and he made them at 36 minutes, he would have had a solid game at 5K, but it's all right. You can't hit them all. He's solid, though. Keldon Johnson at 5K is not a bad play for San Antonio. Played a pretty good run. I think he had like the second most minutes on the team in that first game at 5K. Shouldn't be the worst play. Isaac Okoro at 4.4 is not a bad play. He doesn't take that many shots either. He only took 5 shots in that first game, so that is kind of worrisome. But he was efficient, and he did get the peripherals. He did get him. He was at 3.4 the last game, and he was super solid at that price tag. 4.4 was a little more. If he could take a couple more shots, I'm pretty sure he could reach value, but we'll have to wait out on that guy. I think so at that price tag. Keep growing. Denny will get a bump if Russell Westbrook is out, so keep an eye out on that. Royce O'Neal at 3.6 isn't the worst value play. He played pretty good in that first game. I could see him having a good game. He got priced down like $700, so he's not a bad play at 3.6. He's not really a shooter either. He just fills up the stat sheet, but he could be solid for sure. Dwayne Bacon didn't do much with his minutes in that first game, so I'm not really interested in him. But Sterling Brown again at small forward. A lot of these good plays today are really actually multi-position eligible to me. Sabonis at 8.5, really good play against Chicago that struggles against big men. We've always played big men against Chicago. Sabonis is one of the best skill-wise in my opinion. He had 37 minutes in that first game. If you could give us 37 minutes, 36 minutes again, he's going to beat that price tag again, I believe so. I like Sabonis more than Siakam. I like DeRozan a lot, though. Randall could have an opportunity for more run. He already played 35 minutes in that first game, but Toppin is going to be out, so that could give him a decent bump. Played a good game. I mean, he had 9 boards and 9 assists and 17 points. Almost had a triple-double as well. So Julius Randle's not the worst play at that price tag. Gordon Hayward, probably prefer Gordon Hayward. I probably prefer DeRozan and Sabonis over him, but they're all good in their own sense. Aaron Gordon at 6.9. I'm still interested in him. He had a good game in that first game. He was one of my picks in that first slate, but he did get into foul trouble and he still beat value anyway. So I mean, he would have had a monster game if he never got into value. He missed the entire third quarter. He only played like a minute and a half and then sat the rest of the third. Came out and played the whole fourth quarter. Tobias Harris, I mentioned him. I like him. Markkanen got a huge price bump. I think he was at 48 last game, and he got a huge one. I'd rather just pay up for some of these other guys instead. Some of the other guys I feel more confident in, at least. Al Horford at 6.1, one of my favorite plays on the slate. He should be starting at center. He should be the second best option on the team behind SGA. So I do like him over guys like Beasley or Dort or anybody else on the bench, really. I think SGA and him will have the most opportunity on the team. So I do like Horford and Charlotte. Will be playing Biyombo, I think, today because Zeller is out for a couple weeks. He had surgery or something like that. So Horford will be a fantastic play at 6.1 and an already good matchup. It only gets better when they only have one center on the team. Apparently, they're going to be running guys like PJ Washington and stuff at the center position, and that probably won't be the best idea versus a veteran like Al Horford. So I do like Al Horford a good amount. Marvin Bagley at 5.7 is not the worst play. If he could get more minutes, I would like him. But I do prefer a guy like Horford much more than him. Beasley at 5.1, he's not bad. Washington at 5K is not bad either. Daniel House Jr. is going to get that extra run with obviously all those guys missing. I assume he starts, so at 4.7, he's not the worst play yet. Last season when he was getting run, he was really good. You'll see this span right here. He was starting those games and he was looking pretty solid. Obi Toppin, I think, is doubtful. Yeah, he's doubtful, so he is going to be out. So obviously, like I said, it's going to be giving other guys more opportunity and more shots. Danny, obviously mentioned him that I like him. Royce O'Neal, I liked him as well. Um, I think that's really it at all these positions down here. Yep, let's bump over to center, which will be the last position. Let's go over to center. We got Joel Embiid at 10.2. I do like Towns over Embiid on this slate, personally. I know he's going against Gobert, but I do prefer Towns much more than Embiid. Drummond at 9.2 in the revenge game, I guess you could say. But I do like Drummond over the top two guys as well. All these centers are in good position. I mean, I like all 5 of these. If I was to pick one, I think I like Sabonis just because he's cheaper and he has the same upside as all these guys. And he's in a really good matchup versus Chicago. So if I do play one, I'd probably play Sabonis and then Drummond and then Vooch. Or you can kind of alternate Drummond and Vooch. But those 3, I like them over actually the top 2 guys anyways. Again, not too good to me. Julius Randle at 7.5. I did mention that I do like him a pretty good amount. Blake Griffin's price tag's a little low. He is the best player on the team, so I don't see why he can't pop off. He's going to get the most opportunity on the team as well. LaMarcus Aldridge is not a bad play at 6.9. Played really good in that first game. 20 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 block. Wasn't the worst play. Christian Wood at 5.9, probably the best play at center as of right now. I do like him a lot at 5.9. He's going to get all the run at the center position. He's really good when he's getting that run. Mitchell Robinson's more of a GPP play. Mason Plumlee at 4.8 was not a bad play. I think he played like 30-something minutes in that first game. 32 minutes. He had a really good game. 14, 8, 6. Really good game. I didn't expect that out of him. So at 4.8, if he's going to be getting that kind of run, he's not a bad play against Cleveland, which they will need him against Drummond, Kevin Love, Nance, all those guys, because he's pretty athletic as well. So Aaron Baines at 4.2 could be a decent play. Last time he played was the preseason. I don't think he played in that first game, but Aaron Baines at 4.2 is not a bad value. But Yambo at 3.6 is probably the best value at the center position. He will have a lot of ownership. That's where the main ownership is coming from. Charlotte, Houston, and Oklahoma City is looking like. And then obviously Washington if Russell Westbrook is out. But yeah, so let's get over to my core 4 that I really like. I'll go through them really fast. So the first guy I'm going to obviously put in is Not Jill. I do like George Hill a pretty good amount at 3.4. So I will be plugging him in. I do like James Harden at 10.9. And then I also like 6.1 Al Horford. And then center Christian Wood will be 5.9. These are the 4 guys I'm really running through that I really, really like. I'd probably be starting a lot of my lineups with these guys. I mean, George Hill, nice value. Then you got a pay-up spot like James Harden, Al Horford, and Christian Wood. And the other thing that's interesting, I mean, if Russell Westbrook is out, I'd probably try to find a way to fit James Harden and Bradley Beal in my lineups. That'll probably be the way I'm looking to go, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. But that's really it, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, guys.